Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly die, I'm a pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Just the last defensive possession when they're inbounding the ball. What was your intention?
We didn't execute that game plan right there. We did not execute.
Is it something to hang your hat on to score on 42 points, just only taking 21 threes, just living in the paint tonight?
Yeah, I loved our effort on both ends of the floor. Guys are buying in. Our identity continues to grow no matter who's out, who's in. The guys showed great resiliency tonight, toughness, physicality. I thought we were the aggressive team, put ourselves in a great position to win a game, and really proud of our efforts.
You like how Derek started attacking Rudy Gobert in that game and took that last shot in regulation? Did you feel it was a good shot?
It was the shot we went to, and we executed it. We got a good look there. It's a shot he can get to, and trusted him in the moment, and it almost dropped for us. But he's made big shots. He's ready for these moments, and he'll learn from them. And I'm really excited for his progress, throughout the season.
What do you say to the group? I know, JB, that things aren't going the way you want to, but we see the improvement, like you've been saying, like we've been saying, statistically, but it's not showing up in a win-loss record. Is it starting to weigh on guys at all? Do you have to worry about that? You
got to stay in the moment, keep believing in your team. It's a mental grind right now. It's a mental challenge. We got to keep our heads about us when everybody wants to doubt. These are the moments that strengthen you as a team. These are the moments that build character. These are the fiber moments. They're not easy, but if you can get through it, there's a reward on the other side of it, and we just have to get there. But we can't hang our heads. We just got to continue to keep pounding the rock. As Coach Pop would say, keep pounding the rock. And it may not happen on the 1st. It may not happen on the 10th. It may not happen on the 50th. It may take 100, 102, but we're not going anywhere. The rock's going to continue to get pounded every day, every night. That's what I expect. The standard is high, no matter who's on the floor, and that's what I expect.
Trey had a big night, stat-wise, put up a career high rebound. But what can I say about his performance tonight?
Trey was great. I mean, he was active on both ends, defending, rebounding, playing with great pace, active on the glass. He took a major step forward. I thought he was a major part of us staying in this game and building a lead. So I see a lot of growth from him, especially in these moments on both ends. We're trying to be, having become this two-way player. I thought he really took a step forward tonight on both ends of the floor.
How difficult is it to choose between the trade-off of having additional ball handling on the court with two guards out there versus the lack of size? And because it looked like Minnesota was putting Fears and Jose in position of being like the low man, which made it pretty difficult on them. But yeah, how difficult is that trade-off in the moment of the game? What do you guys see?
Well, we didn't play a lot. They didn't play a lot together until the end. I thought Jose, he's steady enough to help us in those moments to close. Obviously, we had a moment. And so we got to be better in those moments. I liked what we were doing on both ends of the floor at the time, and that final stretch. So But when they are out there, it's to make sure it steadies us, it gets us in our stuff. Jose, can make a shot too, but I thought be more so for a steadiness, having a second, handler out there.
As a team happened just in the last, I think, 7, 10 days. Do you see the offense?
You're still here writing SOP.
All right, for all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Post Game Report. Shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all for being in this episode of PPR. We're in the building. Big QDC recapping the matchup right here. We have some technical difficulties hearing Coach Borrego. Rest of it, as soon as we get that iron out, we'll play the rest of the video if you guys really want to hear it. But outside of that, man, the Pelicans in overtime, man, had an opportunity to kind of take possession of the game, and ultimately they kind of lost it in the toward the back end of the game. To be honest with you, we were discussing. Me and DC was talking about the Jose Alvarado situation, but just various defensive breakdowns, bad decisions, ultimately hurt the Pelicans on the back end of this game, and Ant-Man and the Minnesota Timberwolves took possession. Shout out to you guys for being in the stream. Y'all feel free to hit the like button as well. All right, J. Koff. Okay, J. Koff says, I don't need to hear anything from Borrego, bro. All right, there you go. Okay. All right, I got you, brother. All right, DC, how you doing tonight, man? Shout out to you.
I'm doing all right, man. It's cold as hell. The city. Whew, been outside all day, bro. Glad to be warm. But the Pelicans have also made me cold as hell. They have chiseled my heart towards New Orleans sports. Really don't give a shit about winning or losing at this point.
Okay, all right, all right. All right. Yeah, this is it's interesting, man. Tonight watching the game, man. Through stretches, the Pelicans were looking good, man. I have to say, they got up and was playing with a lot of intensity. They were playing with, they were running, they were moving the ball around, they were taking the shots, they were challenging the Timberwolves, and they were doing it. And then ultimately, when it got down to the clutch moments of the games, that's when the Pelicans really started disintegrating and breaking apart, bad decisions being made, defensive breakdowns, and the like. So let's kind of get into that, DC. Let's kind of talk about that, if you will, and discuss why the Pelicans ultimately lost this game. And I think this is their 4th straight loss now.
You sure it's 4 straight? It ain't more
I'm gonna
than
have to
that?
look at it. I mean, it's hard to keep up with all of the losing, man, but it's a lot of losing going on.
We won in Chicago. That's the last
They're
time.
3-19. I think this is might be 4 or 5 straight. Y'all, I'm gonna have to look at the
Okay.
schedule. But go ahead, bro. While you doing that, I'm gonna look
Well,
at
I mean, this is kind of what I hate about the game tonight. They lost this game the way they've lost every winnable game that they've had. Like, I don't remember who else we went to overtime with. You could just replace this game with that game. It's the same thing. I think that was the Spurs. We lost in overtime, and I believe we went with overtime with somebody else too and lost. They had the game in hand, right? They did the new thing, which the Pels have been doing, and they play a pretty solid first quarter. We see this version of them. They come out, they're hitting their shots, they're taking smart, timely shots, not forcing the 3 ball, taking what the defense is giving them, executing in the paint, sharing the ball, not turning it over, the whole 9, man, getting rebounds, right? And then you go in at halftime and third quarter, bit them in the ass again. But tonight, it wasn't that they played extremely horribly in the third quarter. Anthony Edwards just went on a tear, man. And he gave him like 20 points in the third quarter after everybody, was wondering what was going on with him because, we were actually double teaming Anthony Edwards' family. Can y'all believe that? He was getting the
Right.
ball and they were rushing him and doubling him to get it out of his hands. Well, they went there at halftime and Finch put some stuff together and that shit ain't working third quarter. But the Pels was still in the game and they still were doing all the things that they did in the first half minus that. And pretty much to me, everybody says it's multiple games that multiple plays that can win or lose a game. That is true. But it was pretty clear to me we were going to win this game minus a catastrophic collapse, which actually happened. Jose got a rebound with 46 or 45 seconds, and he's dribbling up. And right at the 40-second mark, you can go, if you would like, Q. I don't know if you got the little ESPN window where they tell you the win probability. We were up by 4 with 40 seconds left. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, Jose dribbles it up and he actually loses the ball, man. That lost us the game. Most teams, a team that's a contender, that ain't enough to lose your game. Let's be real. But this team who needs everything to go right or everything you can get because we still don't know how to overcome adversity just yet, how to win down the clutch, how to handle extreme pressure situations. We're not built for that, man. We crack. And when Jose turned that ball over at the 40-second mark, man, that's pretty much a dead kiss because Minnesota, if we did everything right, simple basketball execution, I ain't gonna say they wouldn't have had a chance, but it would have been extremely difficult for them to win that game if we go on and run down the clock or possibly go to the free throw line. You got the free throw, thing going on. There's a chance you can get another 2 points here or there. Game's over. But we go to overtime, man, and we get in overtime, and Julius Randle just decides he wants to come alive. And he attacked and played bully ball, Zion without the bounce. That's kind of what he looked like and more skill. And they had no answer for that. And once they got up by maybe about 3 points or so, every shot just felt heavy, man, like extreme pressure situation. And they just crumbled.
Yeah, this is and like I said, it's a lot of bright spots. Like we've seen a few things. We'll go over some of the stats, fam. Some bright spots to talk about. We've seen how Trey Murphy played in the game. Overall, toward the back end, it really just disappeared in terms of shot making.
Yeah, they weren't giving him the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Really?
That's the crazy part about it is like Zion is out. We'll cover that in the show, but Trey Murphy is obviously your second option with Zion missing. He's the guy that's supposed to get. Now, he played 41 minutes and he put up 21 attempts and finished with 33 points. But in the clutch moments of the game, he has to be the guy you play through. And I don't know what Borrego's mindset is in terms of just for guys circulating the ball and just whoever gets it and all this kind of stuff. I don't know what his ideology is in terms of it. But playing through your star talent, like your high-priced talent, whether it's Zion when he's healthy or Trey Murphy when he's on the floor as well, in the clutch moments of the game, scheming up something to get the ball in his hand, so he can get off. It's just, we just seem not to do it. But, I mean, there was a lot of fantastic contributors that played in the game. It's just a shame where this is obviously a game that, with them having Ant-Man and having their people, and us missing, some of our big guns outside of Trey coming back, but to be able to lose in OT, they put up a fight, but just toward the back end, man, the confidence is not quite there. You can see the game starting to slip away at a certain point in the fourth quarter. Like you can see the morale go down, you can see the intelligence drop, and you can see they start feeding into the we about to lose narrative. And ultimately the game slipped away to overtime, and then Timberwolves just closed the door on them in OT and put 20 points up on them versus 13. So, I mean, it's just, Borrego getting to the presser up top where we did watch. You can see he's visibly frustrated what's going on with the team because it's Willie Green and these guys left so much to be worked on with the Pelicans, man. The boxing out and just overall IQ of the team. It's more than just effort. It's just you got to know what to do and when not to do it. And ultimately, we got a lot of young guys I'm really happy for, but in the end, man, this team, man, with 3 wins, they just kind of lost in limbo with everything that's going on. Pelicans are 3-19 and 2-10 at home. So at least if you're that bad, at least try to galvanize and steal some wins at home. We will face this same Timberwolves team again on Thursday. But let's just jump right into the stats, DC. I'm going to turn it over to you and let you kind of fill in the blanks on what's happened to Pelicans tonight, fam. Did shoot a very respectable percentage from the field. They were 55% on 50 of 91 shooting. They were 12 of 21 from downtown for 57%. Timberwolves, 52 of 104 for 50%. And they just lit the Pelicans up from downtown. 20 3-pointers, 20 of 51 for almost 40% from them. Just shooting the ball. DiVincenzo was just knocking down everything, man. That little guy is something else. Pels did get to the foul line. 35 times converted, 30 of them for 86%. That is very good. The T-Wolves also got there, 25 of 29 for 86%. So the refs was letting them, they were calling the plays, and Pelicans did, get that high 80 percentage there. 42 to 41 on the rebounds. Pels edge there. In this thing, they did assist pretty well. The Timberwolves won at 29 to 26. The steals were T-Wolves 7 to 5. So did the blocks 4 to 1. The Pelicans had 13 turnovers with 19 points off of that versus the T-Wolves had single-digit turnovers, just 9, and gave up 10 points. The Pels did win the fast break battle 18 to 13 and the points in the paint game 70 to 64. In this matchup. And of course, the Pelicans was up by as much as 15. T-Wolves had it about 10. And of course, as you circulate to the individual statistics, like I mentioned, Trey Murphy led the team in minutes played with 41 and points. He had 33 points on 11 of 21 shooting from the field. He was 50% from downtown, 4 of 8, and perfect from the foul line, 7 of 7. Trey finished with 33 points, 15 rebounds, which is a career high, 4 assists, for him in 1 turnover. That was a phenomenal game for Trey Murphy coming back off of injury. And next up after that was Saddiq Bey, who just continued to have high production. He had 22 points in 35 minutes, 7 of 12 from the field. He was perfect from the foul line, 8 of 8, finished with 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal in the matchup. He was +5. Derek Queen put up some real good numbers tonight. In 39 minutes, DQ had 21 points. He was 8 of 15 from the field, 5 of 8 from the foul line. He had 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 steal for Derek Queen in the game. Jeremiah Fears in 34 minutes, 21 points by the Rook, 7 of 13 from the field. He was 1 of 2 from downtown, 6 of 7 from the foul line, 3 rebounds, 5 assists to go along with it. 34 minutes, and he had about 3 turnovers. But it was solid production from the young fella. And, of course, off the bench, 14 from Jose Alvarado in 25 minutes, 5 of 8 from the field. He was perfect from downtown, 4 for 4, 3 boards, 3 assists for Jose Alvarado. 10 from Jordan Hawkins in 22 minutes. Jordan Hawkins was 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown. He finished with 10 points +2 and in the game for him. And then, of course, we did get some nice production from a few. We've seen some good defense in a couple of plays from the likes of guys like Bryce McGowan, who played in 26 minutes. He finished with just 6 points. Trey Alexander got 12 minutes, got in there and got 7 points. He was perfect, 3 for 3, and did hit a three-pointer. He had 2 rebounds and assists for Trey Alexander. Peavy got in there for 20 minutes, finished with 8 points and 2 assists. Kevon Looney, 12 minutes in the game with 3 assists and 3 rebounds and 1 assist in the matchup. And of course, the main culprit of the Pelicans' misery was the like of Santa Claus, as they call him in the little Christmas commercials. Ant-Man finished with 47 minutes. He had 44 points in 47 minutes. He was 16 of 30, 5 rebounds, 4 assists in the matchup for Santa Claus, and he put the claws right through the Pelicans' heart. In this one, man, they couldn't stop him at all, and then they played really well. 26 from Gobert with 13 rebounds, and DiVincenzo had 15 points on 5 of 15 shooting from downtown. 17 from Jaden McDaniels and 16 from Julius Randle. 18 off the bench from Nas Reed as well. He was 4 of 8 from downtown, doing what Nas Reed usually does. DC, let's get into it, man. What's your thoughts on Pale's loss? Any additional things you want to add to this as well?
Really just ready to get to the Zion story, but for the sake of due diligence and we being professionals, right? Well, I'll just point out actually a few positives because there ain't a lot of those. Trey Murphy, man, he came back, decided to show up tonight. 33 points, on 21 shots, amazing efficiency, career high in rebounds. Trey was out there getting boards tonight, man, 15. Hopefully that's something that can continue and we can see grow and transition. Also 4 assists from Trey and only 1 turnover. The only knock on his game tonight, man, just would have loved to see him take more shots. We could have really used Trey in that fourth quarter, or early in the overtime. And I don't know, maybe Borrego needs to call some things to get him involved. I know they're giving him the star treatment. The defense on him was pretty tight. But you just got to find a way, man, when he's playing good like this. Shout out to Trey, Derek Queen, Fears, Sadiq Bey. All of those guys play good. Even Jose, minus that turnover, man. But I really like what I was saying from Fears. He had probably about 3 amazing quarters. And that fourth quarter kind of tailed off a little bit and overtime as well. Would have liked to see him stay aggressive. Seems like he had real good confidence tonight, man. He was extremely efficient and he kind of had it going, man. I would have liked to see him taking a few more shots and just kept his foot on the gas. Like there was a point during overtime where he had like a clear runway. I mean, you could say Rudy Gobert maybe was trying to bait him. They had maybe a 2 or 3 point lead and you just need him to attack, man. Do what you've been doing all night. He's been attacking Rudy Gobert, attacking that all night. He was getting fouled or making his layups. And he just didn't want to do it and kind of turned and kicked the ball out, tried to kick the ball out for a better shot, and it turned to be a turnover, man. And, that pretty much was the end. That was like the last play where they actually were competing to be able to kind of keep that thing close or be able to win the game. I just wish he would have kept his foot on the gas, but could have been a career night for the young fella, but pretty good game, minus some rookie mistakes. And you could say the same about Derek Queen, other than the career night part. Defensively, man, he just got to do better, man. It's just way too many possessions of just allowing it to be easy for guys defensively. You can say that about a couple of other Pels players, but you just see the flashes from Queen, man. He has some amazing passes tonight, man. I mean, just some wicked dimes, man. And he had a few others that weren't converted that were also excellent passes that could have been assists. And you just see how special he is, kind of at the top of the key, just finding people, man. If they cutting, like he see them, man, like a quarterback out there. And offensively, he didn't have a lot going early in the game. And then you look up and this guy is 21 points. He just finds a way to get it done. He's going to get to the foul line. And he's just someone I can really see growing and blossoming into a great player, So shout out to Derek Queen, man, kind of shaking a little bit of the rust off, rookie wall, whatever it was. Having some games where he just looked a little off, looked a lot better tonight. He still needs to improve and grow, obviously, but a lot of it is defensively, man. You can't always get the rip or, get a block. You just gotta. Maybe it's just conditioning because I know he's slow, but sometimes it just look like he barely moving, man. And Sadiq Bey keeps doing Sadiq Bey things, man. Another 20-point game from Sadiq Bey. This dude is just overplaying the hell out of that contract. Matter of fact, this $150 million we got on the bench, man, somebody should donate some money to him. Because at this point, he underpaid. You know what I'm saying? Sadiq coming in, showing up, man. And at times, he almost looks like the goddamn lead player for moments and spurts. I can't even say a big game from Sadiq tonight. This has been, what he does, and he just continues to do it. Didn't have that elusive double tonight, but showed up in the points department. None of the threes went down. That was crazy for Sadiq, but he still found a way to be extremely efficient. So shout out to him. And Jose Alvarado, man, as well as Micah Peavy, those two guys gave some punch off the bench, along with Jordan Hawkins. He looks like he's getting his swag back. I don't know if Borrego maybe been whispering in his ear or something. He just seemed a lot more aggressive to Hawk, man. A lot of those shots he took weren't falling, but minus maybe two of them. One of them was a block. They just looked terrific, but they're pretty clean looks, man. And I could see him getting into a groove and actually looking like some version of Jordan Hawkins that we saw his rookie year under James Borrego. But all in all, I thought the bench was solid, man. Did more than enough for us to win the game. We just couldn't bring it home.
Yeah, it most certainly it did, man. It just like I said, these breakdowns, man, toward the back end of the game, it's like mental, man. You can see them sliding, man. You can see it happening. I'm like, oh man, here come the mistakes, here come the bad decisions, the turnovers, all in it at these inopportune times. Where we need to get smarter in these areas, and I think that's where it is, because the effort doesn't mean anything unless you could do it for the full summation of the game, and that's where we struggle. Coming up next, the Pelicans will have an opportunity to get some get back against the Timberwolves. They play the same team in the Smoothie King Center on December the 4th, 7 p.m. tip-off time. Pelicans looking for some revenge. If they won't get some revenge against the T-Wolves, now is an opportunity to have DC a couple days off. The matchup indicator predicts that they have 22.4% chance of doing that. And of course,
damn, it went down. Shit, they gave us a better percent the first time, huh?
Well, I mean, the thing
like
is,
23.
I don't remember. I stopped keeping account on it, bro. Because regardless, a lot of what the Pelicans are doing, man, it's just kind of feeding right into the narrative of not handling business for the full summation of time. We have players that are out that potentially was supposed to come back. We know Herb Jones is one of those players that was estimated to come back on December the 2nd. Of course, he was ruled out. Jordan Poole was also ruled out for this game, as well as Carlo Mekovic. We'll get to Zion Williamson after this breakdown, but Eves was also out with soreness, foot soreness, and something dealing with his ankle, I believe. So they were down a couple of people, but some of our big dogs, getting Jordan Poole and Herb, and especially getting Poole back, and his production could help the Pelicans, man. So this is what we facing, man, coming into Thursday. So what was you thinking on that, DC? Let's preview this.
Do we really need to just run back the tape?
Well, I mean, it's difficult for people to beat you within a few days in your own building again. So, I mean,
you talking about a team, but how many wins do we even? Did we even win in our own building? We probably got one in our own building.
You got two. You got two wins. Two of the three wins you have is in your building. Yes, it is.
I don't really think we have a home court advantage right now, so I don't think that stands for us. But I will say this: if the Pels, their mindset coming away from this game is we really should have won this game. But sometimes I don't know if they view it, the way we view it, man. Do they think they really should have won this game, or did they feel lucky to be hanging in there with Minnesota? And only those guys know that. So if they had the mindset that they should have won this game, they let it slip away, and they're actually pissed off because they know they were supposed to win this game, I think they can beat Minnesota. I mean, you
Well, I
saw
mean,
it tonight. We're more than capable, and
yeah, but
we
this
could
team
get
get pissed
another
off.
player or two back, in a day or so. But wouldn't hold my breath on that with the just deception and lies of whoever runs these medical listings, because everybody's been supposed to come back. Seems like for the last 4 games, right, Q? That's
Yeah,
what we be looking at
especially
right here. Everybody's supposed to
especially
come back. Yeez
especially
wasn't even
Jordan
hurt.
Poole. Yeah,
Yeez wasn't even
especially
on the injury report, and then he all of a sudden he just misses a game.
uh,
Sore ankle.
especially Jordan Poole. And
Man,
Herb Jones has been out for a while too. So uh,
I don't
these
think Jordan Poole won't play. I think man, I don't know,
I
man.
don't know
You think
what
he's
is
still
going
hurt or
on.
he just pissed off about something?
I
Like
don't
you
I
said,
don't
maybe
I
they
don't
told him he got to go to the bench, and he don't really like that.
I don't know. He practiced and they were practicing. He was doing it, and then next thing you know, it's just been like 2 or 3 days. I mean, games, 2 or 3 games since
I'm
him
waiting.
practicing.
I'm
So I
waiting for
don't.
him to be going 1-on-1 and 2-on-2 and 3-on-3.
But see, this is that foolishness that Griffin did. But the interesting thing about it all, man, is just if Joe Dumas really wants to, and listen, and I'm gonna tell you something, fam, uh, about the whole process. He's gonna have some difficulty kind of working this thing through. The season was literally ruined by Gail because she was playing favorites and wanted to keep Willie in town until she can't. She got really tore up and burnt up by the fan base uh, to force Willie out of here. Now, in terms of the health staff, he's going to have a great amount of difficulty trying to get this health staff, because we coming back to the health staff question. This is something we talked about before with the Pelicans. Not only the ineptness of the leadership and not knowing who to pick and how to pick, and just focusing on making money and all this stuff, because most of these guys on top of the team, like Dennis Lauscher, they're not football or basketball people. They're not. These are just opportunists that are just making money. The whole deal with the Oshner sports medicine thing has been a bad move for the Pelicans since they went over there with Oshner, and all of a sudden they're locked in. So if Joe Dumas wants to do something with his health staff, he's going to get resistance from the president that's above him, because this dude is sitting on the board of directors for the hospital, and they have a deal signed. They just read up last summer with the same health staff. So we're not seeing the results. We're seeing all of these players, and I mean the really expensive ones. All of the expensive players, from Zion Williamson's $39 million. Herb Jones can't stay off of there. That's what I was like. I like Herb, but Herb's been hurt a lot lately. We can't count on Herb. When Sadiq Bey made it here, it made me understand why, to me, Herb has become really kind of expendable. 13, $14 million. Sadiq Bey is really outplaying him.
You don't want to know the weird thing, Q? I'm about to tell
Yes.
you something that's really weird. Sadiq Bey is outplaying her, right?
Mhm.
He was a high draft pick, and he's done a lot, in his career right now. But looking at Sadiq, wouldn't you think he was older than her? He's actually younger than her. He's a year younger than her, man.
His game is and that's another thing, you credit Joe Dumas. Like, it's a few things people are kind of upset. They're thinking the decision with Willie Green was Joe Dumas. I kept telling people that his hands was tied, that he would have gotten rid of Joe Dumas. I mean, excuse me, he would have got rid of Willie Green before the season started. And the Gale was preventing him. That was one of the caveats that he started the team for. Remember, they asked him, was there a mandate? The mandate question was asked. Mandate. Joe Dumas denied it. He said there is no mandate, that he can do this, that, and the third. And he did it. He traded players. He brought in.
He's supposed to say that, right? You're not
Right.
supposed to say
He's not supposed to go against her because she's the owner. She cut the checks, right? So he had to disagree with that, right? He had to say, nah, it's no mandate. But now we know the truth. The truth is there was a mandate. The mandate was to protect the coach, who she had, fondness of their family, the wife, whatever the case may have been. But with him out of here now, the fact is, if he really wants to turn this around, he's inherited Zion Williamson and all of the stuff that comes with Zion, which is the health stuff, whether it's from his side where he comes in here and all this kind of stuff. And now the staff, we can't keep none of these players. It's not just Zion Williamson. Look at all these other guys. And some people say, Q, them guys are not hurt. But, regardless or not, man, Carlo Mekovic, Herb Jones, they're going beyond their timelines. Jordan Poole was practicing, stopped practicing. I don't know what's going on with that. All I know is the team has 3 wins, and but Borrego basically said the other night is that they got all the time. They got many games left. So, we all understand that they're not trying to make a rush to do anything or try to win any games. The way they're holding these guys back, they're not trying to get them back on the court, to try to make anything happen. They're just going about the business the regular way. And I would love to hear from Joe Dumars about right now. I would love to hear from Joe Dumars what's going on with this team. I'd love to hear from Joe Dumars his thoughts on Zion Williamson. Of course, a lot of that stuff he's not going to tell you. But if you look at it, and when I put the poll question out there for the family members on the community section, is it time to give up on Zion Williamson? And what I mean by that is it time to drop the experiment that was Zion Williamson? Zion's been here for 7 years, family. He's been here for 7 years. 7 years Zion's been here. And it just has not worked out for us. I mean, you can't build a team around a guy that can't stay healthy, whether his fault or not. We can't do it. It's not a smart thing to do.
I like to go a step further and say that what if Joe wasn't allowed to trade Zion? And
who would stop him?
All of this is a part of the plan.
What plan would that be?
The plan to let him ride out for the rest of the season, and we trade him in the offseason, man. Some things look extremely weird, like the hamstring and him still doing the back-to-backs, and it's so many goddamn things. It's like, wait a minute. We got a new president of basketball operations. Vice president of basketball operations, and a senior president, because Troy Weaver isn't actually the GM, right?
No, he's not officially.
We don't even have an official GM.
No, you don't.
Correct.
But
a lot of the things seem exactly the same like when David Griffin was here. Extremely the way that they handle the injuries, the way that they handle Zion's, all the way down to you got 12 minutes in a quarter, right? Zion can score 8 straight points, and it doesn't matter. They're taking him out at the 8-minute mark. And they was doing that when he wasn't healthy. What is this shit? And we constantly like, why Zion ain't playing back to back? So maybe they are trying to preserve him. They just want him to kind of make it through the season. You pick a point where he got it going, and you feel confident he's not gonna get hurt. Let him build up his trade value, and we moving on, man. And I think a lot of these decisions were made before the season even started. They knew they were going to trade him. We heard the whispers from behind the scene that management wanted to trade Zion, right? After the last thing happened with the girl and went to his house and all of that, Miss Benson, that was it. Joe Dumars probably talked some sense into her of not rushing to just trade him right now. Let's build his trade value back up. Well, it's not looking so good right now. And then you look at the trade that we made for Derek Queen, giving up that first next year. Maybe they feel confident they can get a first back in 2026 from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And if I know I'm gonna try to get a first back, I'm not even thinking about doing a trade till after the draft lottery to see what teams they'll take serious and which ones they won't, right? So you got a lot of things that are just lining up, man, and looking like as much as we wanted them to try to contend and do all this stuff this season, they pretty much already didn't care. They didn't care about winning. That's why they didn't fire Willie Green. They didn't care about winning. That's why we got the same damn medical staff after all of them damn injuries last year. They don't really care. The only thing they probably care about right now is getting Zion trade value back up at some point whenever they feel he's conditioned and in basketball shape and they can unleash him. And then probably doing the same for DeJounte Murray and maybe even Jordan Poole, because he might be an asset that they move at this point, because we were just talking about his injury shit, right? Jordan Poole played what is this, like his 5th year in the league? I don't think Jordan Poole has ever been injured for this long. And all of a sudden he come to the Pelicans. Man probably played 82 out of 82 games his whole career. Now he come here, he'd have missed about a good 10 or 12 games already, right? So
Yeah.
It's just the same thing, man. They're gearing up to get off some of these guys. We know that. I think maybe a team like Sacramento, because Joe Dumars' partner is actually a GM over there. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
So we probably could be getting somebody from Sacramento. Don't get too excited, because it could be some shit like Zach LaVine or something. You ain't no telling. I ain't saying we getting Sabonis, but they got to have something up their sleeve. And then I think back to the offseason presser and Joe Dumars, and they asked him about going to the playoffs and all of this. You remember what Joe said, right, Q? We just want to play competitive basketball. You remember that?
Yeah, he kind of swayed away from that.
He made sure to temper those expectations, because there are no expectations. This is a developmental year. It's always been a developmental year. I'm sure they would have been okay with obviously playing good, because we don't have our draft pick, but the plan would have still been the plan. And that's the only thing that makes sense to me after watching this chain of events of everything that's happening. And we come up here and talk about these games, and everybody looks so lackadaisical. They started the season lackadaisical because they know the goddamn plan and they can't talk about it.
Yeah, that would definitely explain the non-urgency that they're playing with. And of course, everybody wants them to compete, and that's what they know.
The rookies are one of the ones who don't understand, Q.
Yeah, that's why the rookies are outplaying the veterans, man.
Right.
And in these games, the rookies are conducting the offense. You have Queen and Fears. They're some of the biggest, scorers and players that's in PV. These guys, even the undrafted guys, the guys coming off the bench and playing minutes like Trey Alexander and Bryce McGowan's. These guys playing their hearts out. And like I said, this is just pathetic to me, because we've been talking about this on PPR for years about the health staff, and it goes uncounted for. You can't win anything if you don't solve the health issue with the team. And the fact of the matter is that the Pelicans and the Saints continue to deal with the same situation because they're in bed with these people. I mean, literally, the damn president of the team is on the board of directors. How are you supposed to fire them if he's sitting his big fat ass up there? So I don't know what to really make of this, except for this is incredibly ridiculous. And then at the end of the day, it's sad. So it's promotions for people for her to get rid of and tell the team, because she don't know what she's doing. She's not bringing any new ideas to any of these situations. And the only thing that is consistent is both these teams, whether it's football or basketball, are losers. They're losing. You got a 3-win team on the basketball side and a 2-win team on the football side. Collectively, they have 5 wins total and a ton of losses. You got 3-19 today with the Pels and 2-10 on the other side with the other team. So it's just more of the same. If Joe Dumars really wants to turn this around, you got to start Joe. You got to start, because I know you probably don't know. It's probably going to take you a while to figure this out, because y'all ain't been paying attention to this. You thinking it's like a regular team that you come to and they just got some misdirection and you need to do this. No. It's not the same. These people are ignorant. They're really stubborn, and they're really, I mean, he thinking he like, hey, I got it. We just need to do this.
He's been watching this team for 5 years, thinking about he was supposed to be here before Griffin. You don't think he's been paying attention?
No, like a spectator would from afar. From afar, just thinking, oh, well, they just have been snake bitten with injuries. No. You got a year or two dealing with injuries. That's one thing. But having 7 years and more of injuries that's impacting your top players, like right now, we just got Trey Murphy back. All of the big name, we talked about this and made jokes about $100 million worth of players sitting up there watching the game. most expensive cheerleaders in the entire NBA. They sit up here watching the game while young people run around there, rookies and undrafted people and backups run around trying to help the team stay competitive and on in some sort of capacity. And then guys just sitting up there watching it play out. And you got Borrego, he steps to it and he just does his Willie Green impression about, it's most people think they're, this, that, and the third. Yeah, they're thinking that, man, because you are giving them that. These people are not performing. They're not carrying this out, despite all of the practice that you claim you're not getting. It ain't all about that. You have to, regardless of what happens, you are in this position because failure has happened. The guy got fired before. You have to take the reins. You have to help them improve. But it's just showing with him there how really far off the team is with just fundamental stuff. It's just the fundamental stuff. Boxing out. They did hit well on the free throws, offensive rebounding, getting back on transition, circulating the ball, movement, constant movement. This type. You can see in later on in the game, the movement stopped. Then they start gambling on passes, throwing the ball away, making dumb decisions. You got to build up the overall IQ of what's going on, and it's taking too long to do that. And I think Borrego's had at least 10 games now, I want to say, since he's been here. So it's repetitive and it's getting boring and it's lame because people are tired of seeing it. And by the way, let's just do this article, DC, and you can just jump on it. Pelicans, Zion Williamson. Y'all heard this from earlier today. I would have did a flash report, but I couldn't get to it. Pelicans, Zion Williamson out for at least 3 weeks. I would contend that Zion Williamson, you won't see him until 2026. I promise you that you won't see him until they say 3 weeks. More than likely, it'll be a month.
He gonna come back with DeJounte Murray. Huh?
DeJounte will come back before him more than likely. Watch.
God damn.
Pelican star Zion Williamson had a grade 2 right hip abductor strain. The team announced on Tuesday. Williams, who already missed 11 games early this season, will be reevaluated in 3 weeks. This is ESPN's Sham Charania. Williamson missed 8 straight games in November because of a hamstring injury. He recently missed 2 games after he returned from that injury because the games were a second of a back-to-back set, respectively. Williamson, 25, is averaging 22.1 points, 5.6 rebounds in 10 games this season. His 7th with the Pelicans. Since being drafted with the number 1 pick back in 2019, Williamson has played in 224 out of a possible 493 games. That's 45% for the Pelicans, according to ESPN research. The last place Pelicans, who are now 3-19, entered Tuesday with the NBA's worst record. New Orleans has a minus 3.0 net efficiency this season with Williamson on the court versus a minus 13.9 net efficiency when he's off the court, according to ESPN's research. So Zion is going, I said, for a month worth of games, to be honest with you, because they're going to take their time with Zion. Y'all already know what this is. So anyway, this is the question I've asked in the poll question. When I say give up on Zion, I mean the experiment that the Pelicans have been doing for the last several years. Has Zion played his last game for the Pelicans? Latest injury should set up needed separation. Williamson expected to miss at least 3 weeks. CBS. We talked about it here, and then we mentioned all the games that he lost. The Pelicans turned over their front office last offseason, while Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver haven't exactly earned pundits for their work in New Orleans thus far. They have less invested in Williams than previous regimes did. They even traded a haul to get his replacement. The early returns on Queen have been quite positive. He ranks 7th among the rookies in scoring, 4th in assists, and 3rd in rebounds. The early returns on Queen-Williamson partnership, that's more of a mixed bag. The Pelicans, 120.3 points per 100 possessions when they share the floor, but allow 23.3 according to Cleaning the Glass. Their offensive upside is considerable. You won't find many more skilled pairs of big man. They're untenable together defensively. Neither protects the rim. In a perfect world, you pair Queen with a defensive-minded center who could maybe shoot the occasional 3 to offer some extra spacing. You want the ball in Queen's hands. That's why you paid what you might have, might become the first overall pick in this draft to get him. Between Queen and Fears and Murphy, there's suddenly a fair number of mouths to feed in New Orleans. Now, Williamson outranks all of them on stature. He leads the team in usage by a meaningful margin. which creates an uncomfortable dynamic when these injuries inevitably rise. The Pelicans are one sort of team with him and an entirely different team without him. It's hard to know on a week to week basis which one they'll be. That makes planning for the future and developing younger talent significantly harder. Continually and stability are essential to growth. The Pelicans haven't had much of either since Williamson's arrival. Now that Queen is in place, it's time to begin thinking more realistically about life after Zion. Normally, this is the part where we cover which team might be interested in Williamson and what sort of return New Orleans might be able to get for him. At this point, though, the idea of some team wanting him enough to trade a substantial package is unrealistic. If the Pelicans can't rely on him, it seems unlikely that another team could. Williams' true value right now lies in contract, not his production. So anyway, DC, I ain't gonna get into the rest of all this article because it's actually a pretty solid article.
They're probably gonna get at the that contract where he got to play so many games. All the games that he missed take a chunk of money out of his pocket. So they definitely gonna dock that pay, right? So even
hold on,
if
DC, just a second, my brother. Let me do one thing. Let me
pull that up too. The abductor strain, grade 2.
Yes.
4 to 6 week recovery time, moderate injury, significant. Yeah, I was gonna get to that, but go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, that's the thing that we usually talk about when people are like, what the hell is that? Well, according to some medical journals online, Nationwide Children's Hospital, Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, Washington Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, an acute grade 1 or 2 strain of the abductor muscle is an intense pain in the groin area, like a sudden stab with a knife. If the athlete attempts to continue the activity locally, a hemorrhage and swelling can be seen a few days after the injury. So is this? They say it's a grade 2, and I think they only grade 1 or 2.
It's
strain.
grade
So
2.
go ahead,
It's a
DC.
grade 2, and it's gonna be you're gonna have weakness in that leg, difficulty walking, bruising, all of that stuff, muscle spasms, and basically it is an actual muscle tear. But the beautiful thing about it, or the good thing about it, is it don't require no surgery. You just treat it with what they call the Rice method, right? Everybody knows that: rest, ice, compression, elevation. So 4 to 6 week recovery time. So for Zion, it'll probably be about 8 weeks. But I think that's the positive you got out of this. He will play again this season, obviously, and I don't think there's any chance that this can be like the whole weird thing we had with the hamstring. Remember that? And then the foot injury and just all of that weirdness was like, hey, he's coming back, and he just be out forever. So I don't think there's any way that they can do this. But if we sit there and look at the amount of games and go over his contract, I guarantee you, even if Zion is ready, and like let's say he has a fast recovery time and he's ready in 3 weeks, bro, right? They still gonna make him wait probably about 5 weeks or whatever it dictates on how many games he misses to get paid what on that contract. So that's always gonna be a thing. At least as long as he plays for us, or unless some type of miracle, Zion just miraculously gets healthy and plays at an MVP level. But as long as he's underperforming, the team is underperforming like that, even if Zion was healthy, I think they would make up a phantom injury and make sure he misses those games to get their goddamn money back.
Yeah, it's just a sad situation, man, dealing with Zion Williamson, man, and they're saying people are asking in the chat. First of all, shout out to you guys, appreciate you. One of the family members said, "Q, why they got 2 streams going on?" Well, one of them is a vertical screen, a stream that they're doing. This is a new feature that this software offers, where it has the original or the manual, or I guess what you would call it, the portrait version, or the long version of the stream that you're accustomed to watching on television. The other one is a vertical stream, this screen that's designed for your phone, for your smartphone. That's the difference. This is a feature that they're doing, so that's just explain that. And in terms of where Zion and how did Zion hurt where did this injury come from for Zion Williamson? Just to give the family members some backdrop on there. According to Yahoo Sports, Zion suffered this abductor injury during the Pelicans' November the 29th loss to the Golden State Warriors. That's when he developed this injury, for those who wanted to know. It happened during the game. All right, so so the question is, thank you, Tech Blitz. Shout out to you. Appreciate all y'all, man. Jaden Lavelle. Just want to get everybody a shout out, man.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man, because y'all
Thank
could
you,
have been
man.
quick like the Pelicans. Well, y'all still in
Yeah,
there.
exactly, man. That's what I'm saying, man. And that's the
Appreciate
point
it.
that I always want to give a shout out to our fam, man, because it's frustrating as it is. We can just like, yo, man, we're gonna just shut it down till the Pelicans start winning. But we more professional than this team, man. We are more consistent in our team. That's the frustrating part, is that we can be consistent. You guys can do it as well. And I mean, the Pelicans, look what we're doing. We're here every night or every other night talking about this team with 3 freaking wins. It's a laugh of the NBA right now. People making fun of the Pelicans, but we still here supporting. YBNG, Don, shout out to you, brother Don Miggy. Like I said, Lavelle, TFP, Dorlissa, big ups to you, OG Jerry, Jacob, Jaden. Let's see, Isan, shout out to Isan Wellington. Rahman, 18, shout out Stephanie, good to see you. Thomas Taylor, big ups. Mary K, shout out to you as well. Owat, shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you as well, man. Appreciate you. And like I said, man, thank y'all, man. Tech Blitz, Slim, big ups to you, man. Appreciate y'all forever, man. Brother Jan, much love, brother. I see you in there as well. I think I got everybody. If I didn't get you, y'all, just give me what's up, brother Lionel? Shout out to you, brother. Good to see you in the chat as well, man. If I didn't get you, give me a shout out. What's up, Kelvin? Shout out to you, man. All right. Much love, bro. Appreciate you, man. Dr. Williams, sir. Shout out to you, my man. Thank you. You might need doctor. I think the Pels are sick, man. You might have to perform an operation, man, and put a heart in their chest or something. What's up, Brandon? Shout out to you, man. Good to see you as well, man. I think I got everybody. If I didn't get you, just give me a shout out. And me or DC will give you a shout out as well. What's up, Ross? Shout out to my boy Ross, man. Big ups, brother. But yeah, this is the thing. Now that we
Jaden, bro.
And then, of course, as we move forward, man, we got a super chat here. Yes, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you, bro. Ryan S 381, excuse me, says, can we do a trade of Zion for Laurie marketing? Will Laurie fit our roster and make it better? Thank you, brother. Let's get you. Hold on, DC. Let's get that. Let's take the money out.
Pull it out.
Take the money out. All of it. Come on. Wasting my time now. Come on.
Cause Zion right now.
Stop it, stolen.
Indeed, bro. Go ahead, DC.
They taking that goddamn money out of Zion's pocket, man, with his injury. But man, that's interesting, man. Let me look up. I want to see his contract, what Laurie's getting paid. But I honestly think Laurie would be a perfect player for this team. You got somebody who, goddamn, he get paid a lot of money though. But 5 years, $238 million. So that goes up significantly. You're paying him significantly more money than Zion. But his contract just started. So you'll have him on the books for at least 3 more years, depending on when you get him. And I think this year, Laurie's probably averaging damn near 30 points, right? This year. The only thing that I can't wrap my head around with Laurie is, why would Utah want to trade him? Like, what are they doing? I don't get if he's still on the block, like why they would try to trade him. But Laurie for Zion, at this point, if that's what we could get for him, man, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. I think the contract, you probably have to do something else or send another player to make the money work, obviously, because Zion on the salary cap is like $39. Laurie's 46. So you got to do something to make the money work. Are we sending a pick? Or are they just it's just an even player swap? Because his game and the way he plays, I could see that working very well with a Derek Queen, Sadiq Bey, Trey Murphy, everybody. The only problem I have, I think, far as a basketball standpoint, is we gonna need some type of bruiser or somebody who can just get us them buckets in the paint, man. When we wanna bring some power down low. You're gonna lose a lot of that with Zion, and you're not gonna have that at all. In my opinion, with Laurie, he's more crafty, even though he can score in the paint a little bit, but that ain't really his game. But I wouldn't be mad at it at all, honestly. Then you get somebody who you ain't got to worry about their athleticism with all these damn injuries we deal with. I think we probably could make it work, man. He can stay healthy. He could avoid the curse.
Yeah, he make a lot of money, man. Zion at about 39 and Laurie's 46 and some change, but man, Laurie plays, man. That's the bottom line. He
Yeah,
plays in
he
these
don't miss
games.
no games.
That's the whole point. And he's right now averaging 28, 6, and 2 on 47% shooting from the field. His 3-point ball is 36%. Now, like I said, you can't beat it because Laurie plays. Now listen, I'm not
We
foolish
still
enough
gonna
to
need a dog though, Q. Like
I hear you,
he
but I'm
not
just
enough. But
I hear you, but I'm saying you could play Queen and Laurie together because Laurie could stretch the floor for you. He could hit the three. But
Fears
this
too. He make life
right,
easier
right,
for Fears as well.
right. But that's what I'm saying. What's interesting is because if you get and listen, fam, listen. I'm not trying to throw cold water on this because we getting players like when we got Jordan Poole. Poole is a 20-point scorer, right? We bring him in here. This is a guy that plays a lot of games. He comes in here and misses a lot of time, like DC astutely mentioned. Could this be a factor with Laurie marketing? Players come to this team and we don't get the same value or performance out of them that most teams get out of their players, and that's because, for instance, we looked at the health staff is not, to me, is not one of the best in the game. It's probably one of the top lowest in the NBA in terms of what it does for its players. Our players are already always banged up. They stay beyond their recommended return times. This sort of thing. Guys practice, then they shut them down. It's just not consistent in how we handle business from a health standpoint. The coaching is this staff. No disrespect to Coach Collins or Coach Brewer or Monroe or none of these guys. But listen, fam, this coaching staff is probably one of the worst in terms of getting the most out of its players in the league. There are no specialist type coaches like we had Coach Fred, who was really NBA renowned in terms of how he helped people build and this sort of thing. We don't have none of that here. The crazy part about it is the mindset and the the non-aggressive or the non-winning mindset of these coaches. There's no dogs here. A coach that's a dog, that has a dog mentality, will draw that out of his players. We don't see that type of mentality from the team. It's like, the Pelicans are known as a dumb, through league circles as a joke. Pretty much, this is my word, as a dumb team, an underachieving team, and are proud of it. And of course, they'll spend some money and they'll get Joe Dumars. Now, I respect the Joe Dumars move because he comes with a resume, a top 50 Hall of Fame player. So he can speak to the players about championships, him being one of the best defenders on Michael Jordan. Jordan gave him them props and winning a championship as a general manager, right? With Detroit, the team he took there as a player, him and Isaiah and those others. So that's a resume. That's credentials right there that gives them some bit of responsibility, some respect. But all the other stuff is way out of the way. Like I can give Joe Dumars credit for drafting Fears and going to get Queen when other people were lambasting them and making fun of them and calling them before the trade even worked out. Shit didn't even work out all the way. Time ain't even expired yet, and they slamming the man with articles about him giving up unprotected. But look at how Queen is doing.
He ain't got the complexion for the protection, Q. Because if
But Joe,
David Griffin did the same thing, you can't tell me it would have been different. They
it would have
wouldn't.
been
They
the
wouldn't.
same
They would have
intensity.
gave him. No, it wouldn't have. They would have gave him some leeway. I'm sure they would have still critiqued it, but it wouldn't be like how it is with Joe Dumars. They make it like the man should be fired. He's the worst friend like ever. I'm like, damn, he only been
Right.
here for 3
They
weeks.
they blame the Zion Williamson
Blame
debacle
everything on him.
on Joe Dumars, and I've been
They
saying
got people calling for his job right now, man.
these
I'm
people
like,
don't know what they're
God
talking
damn.
about, family. They don't know what they're talking about. Number
Crazy.
one, he's like Joe should have fired Willie. They don't know nothing about what's going on with this team. They they don't know nothing about what's going on. We've been saying that Gail Benson been at the onset of this. She's the one that protected the man. She's responsible for the coach not being fired. That's Gail's job. He couldn't overwrite her. We kept saying that. The picks, him getting Queen and Fears and Peavy. Let's throw Peavy in there. Those guys are ballers. That the future's bright as far as that concerned. He also brought in Poole and Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey has really he's outplayed Herb Jones, and I think he should get Herb Jones money and should be starting. Well, Herb can't stay healthy. His offensive game is struggling, and just when he starts to do something positive, he gets hurt again, and then he goes back to shit offensively. He got to reset. So it's like you got to give credit what credit's due. Now this is some moves like the Kayvon Looney thing was still an interesting move, but Kayvon brings experience of a championship team. So does Poole. So what the crazy part about it is, like I said, we still have the overlining issues about shitty health staff. The Pelicans have one of the worst in the game. Let's just be honest. Our players are constantly hurt year after year. We also have a owner who doesn't introduce any fresh ideas. Her thing is to go and hug on players at the end of the game and say, "I'm there support." Ma'am, they don't need no hugs, ma'am. They got most
What
people got
more can I
parents.
do?
Right. What more can I do? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, but don't fire Dennis Lausch as the president of operations. Doesn't even embrace the idea of changing above Joe Dumas. Lausch should not be a president on either professional team. He's not qualified for that. He's just a businessman. Give him a befitting title. But that doesn't even come into focus. Doesn't even come into focus is a reason why you're losing and losing badly. And then don't really know. And then for her to say that she's not doing an audit of the team. She's not bringing in somebody from the outside to do a full audit on the team to figure out and go through each apartment or department of the team to figure out which is underperforming. Doesn't even have none of those ideas. Just sit up here and tell you got to be patient. These people are completely out of their mind. And as Joe Dumars stepped in the door, he has to wrestle with the idea of fixing that health staff. Because I'm telling you, he hadn't gotten there yet. But you'll learn, Joe Dumars, you will learn, like we learned, that the problem with the Pelicans, besides the owner, is your health staff. Your health staff is subpar, sir. You need to do whatever you need to do to fix that health staff so the players that you bring in here will be able to play so we can be able to win. Look what Boston doing. You got other teams like OKC, how they players playing all the time and achieving all of these things and doing all this positive stuff, and we can't keep guys on the court. You thinking that they just got four-leaf clovers everywhere? No, it's a method to what they're doing, and you need to study that, and you need to bring that down here. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. These people be looking at this stuff weirdly, man. You think I guarantee you bring Laurie Marketing down here. I would love that because to me, I've been a Zion supporter for a while. I think Zion Williamson was a player that had a lot of potential. But this listen, when he first stepped to the door, this is year number 7, and we just talking about another injury, an adductor injury, a grade 2 on him with this, and he'll be out for a month. It won't be 3 weeks. It'll be a month that he'll be out. That means for the rest of 2025, you won't see Zion dribbling the ball and trying to help the Pelicans win games. To get the double digits, can we even get 10 wins before the end of the year? Can we get up to around, can we get to the 10 game win level? Can we get that? You know, how they are. So, I mean, it's no rush on getting none of these guys back on the court. And it's just a blame damn shame, man, how this team is. And like I said, and I agree with Lex what she's saying about it. And we talked about this, the contamination of these players, all of the losing is
The
killed the
ghost
team.
of Willie Green still
And
haunts
David Griffin now also is there because there would not be a Willie Green if it wasn't for David Griffin. He was the one that also, or as I call him, David Grifter. He was one of these guys that came on the scene with all this soft talk and dogs with. I remember Herb Jones was a dog. Herb Jones is domesticated now. You got Sadiq Bey playing like you supposed to play, Herb. So I mean, these guys are smiling and dapping each other off, and the team losing all over the damn place. Ain't nobody pissed off. What kind of emotion do you want them to display, Q? The same shit you display. Tiredness of losing and not providing a full effort, but still getting paid like you are. That's what I want to see. I want to see a full out effort for 48 minutes. I want to see these damn people play a full game and not sit down there and break down in the last portions of the game. And then Borrego, or whether it's Willie Green or Borrego, who's doing the Willie Green impersonation, getting up there and telling them that he's proud of the players' effort in losing. That's getting tired and old, bro. That is old. You're not going to do. And see, the crazy part about it is Borrego needs to challenge himself and stop saying the same stuff that other dude saying, because you saying that same shit that he's saying, that message gets stale too. You don't think these players and come in here and whether they get blown out by 15 or whether it's 3 or 4 points, thanking them for efforts in losing games, bro. What do you think they're gonna do? If you thanking them and lose, you the coach, you're supposed to push them to do better. So in the end, man, this is where we are. But DC, go ahead. We're gonna close out with that, man. What's your closing thoughts on the Zion debacle and of course the Timberwolves going forward?
Well, I don't have no closing thoughts on the Timberwolves. We covered that. It is what it is. The Pels got to show us a spark, or got to show us something different, man. Somebody got to be an alpha. Somebody got to want the last shot. Somebody got to just command or take over. And until we get that out of one of these guys, somebody's gonna have to step up and want that. I think we're gonna continue to lose close games, but if we can, kind of be front runners, we can get some games in there. It's 49-win season all over again, but with the injuries, but the type of way we got to win is still the same. But far as Zion, man, and this whole fiasco, I think the only thing we can do is look towards the future, and how this will play out in the direction we will want the Pels to go. We're in a position where for years we've provided them ideas. And when I say we, I'm talking about all y'all in the chat too. Not just talking about me, Big Q, Lex. And we gotta get back to, I guess, pointing the Pels in the direction we would want them to go. Because obviously, just talking about what's happening presently, it ain't working out. And it's not really that interesting, right? Because we ain't got a lot going on in the present. And even if the Pels do manage to win some games, the season is already lost. So sad to say, but it's another year where we got to start looking towards the future. But at least this year, Willie Green is not here no more. So we got one problem addressed. And a lot of the things you need to do would be finding a coach that's going to fit this core of young players. And then your next tall order, which is a quite difficult one, is figuring out who's going to be a star. You can't win in a league without stars. So if it ain't going to be Zion, then who is going to be? Because like you said, Big Q, we need a dog. Whoever is going to lead the Pelicans or step up, because it may very well be one of these rookies. They may keep excelling their game. And at the end of the season, it could be Derek Queen or it could be Jeremiah Fears. I think they're both extremely talented and possess the capability to possibly grow into that. But our mission right now is to figure out if that's the case, or figure out if we have to try to get that, or do we need to continue drafting to get that. But we need a star player, somebody that can lead this team through talent, hopefully vocal leadership as well. But if they're talented enough, maybe we could figure those things out with vets. But until we do that, man, that's going to constantly be the mission. So like the trade idea my man threw in the chat, Laurie Markman, I think his attitude and everything would fit with the team. but I don't know how much of a dog he is to me, or exactly like fits New Orleans. But as long as we can have a team that plays like us, I don't think that would matter. So if we did pull that trade, maybe it would be more like you said, Q, on the coach, because certain coaches are able to pull things out of players the same way Willie Green was able to domesticate some guys.
Yeah, that has to change, man. You got to have a firebrand at the coaching position that's a disciplinarian. These guys be thanking these players for the wrong stuff. That's rewarding negative behavior, man. You don't be congratulating these players on efforts and they losing, man. I mean, I just don't like that. That's what Willie Green been doing. He used to get fake mad at the player when they have blowouts, and then even in some of the blowouts, he was still thanking. So I mean, it's just like the content, like this coaching staff that we have, like they've been contaminated with that bullshit, man. Like these guys don't have no dog in them, man. They just sit up there collecting checks. And I think a lot of us are simply tired of it, man. You know, we done with all of the BS, man. So I mean, with Joe Dumars, finally, when this year is over with, I believe he's going to clean house, man. He's going to empty all of these people out. You know, all these people that have been sitting up here for years, just collecting checks, not being firebrands in there, not challenging these players to play better and do better, but talking this old nice guy talk, man. You gonna get your ass up out of here, man. We don't want to hear that no more about being a nice team and all this other
I
stuff. And
mean, we never
people
wanted to
kicking
hear
your
it.
teeth in. Yeah, people kicking your teeth in, and you sit up here talking about thanking them for effort, and they losing the games. And then people he hears, I know he reads and watches stuff because I can hear in his commentary, Borrego's commentary, that he listening to other people blast the Pelicans because of how he be speaking against certain people about being patient and all this kind of stuff. We're not gonna be patient. We've been patient with y'all, man. It's time to put up and shut up, man. Some of these people making a lot of money. You got all these people making all this money and they're not even playing. I don't even think Jordan Poole is hurt. I mean, he was practicing, then he just stopped playing. He stopped practicing. How that work? How a player goes back to practice, they clear him to practice and then he start practicing a couple of times and then you shut him down and say, oh no, he's not ready to go yet. Not even in limited action. How's that work? And you need the guy out there. You got 3 wins. You're 3-19. So I mean, it's something weird, very weird going on. You can't find Joe Dumars right now. Joe Dumars, as big as he is, he got a disappearing act going on. I don't understand what's going on with these people. I just find it really foolish and sad all at the same time that we got all these people making this kind of money. We got 3 wins, 2 wins in the Smoothie King Center. It's just a joke, man. So at the end of the day, man, I salute you guys. I ain't saluting the damn team, man. They too busy, buddy, and cool and all this. Nah. If you really care about your teammate, challenge them to do better. Challenge some of these guys that's hurt to get their shit over with, to get back in the gym and get this stuff going. Challenge these health staff people. Everybody needs to be challenged. There's no coolness going on with a team, and of course, you know, watching this kind of stuff going on with a player who you can't build around. Zion Williamson constantly hurt. We 7 years in, and the time is up. The experience, in my opinion, like I supported Zion. All the fuck shit dealing with him and these women that he running around with, doing all this sort of nastiness and this foolishness, and not being in shape prior to this season, all this kind of stuff. And now in year number 7, these constant injuries. We cannot win any games if we can't have the man on the court playing. Man, can't play back to backs. You know, the sore elbow by Trey. He missed like 3 to 4 games. Jordan Poole's out. We don't know what's going on. Herb Jones still out. He was supposed to come back. He's still out. It's just Carlo Mekovic. I don't know what's going on with Carlo. He's just a reserve player, a little energy bug, big guy off the bench. He's not there. So, like I said, man, I don't know what's going on with the Pelicans. It's just a laugh and a half. But anyway, with that being said, we're gonna get on up out of here. Y'all do us a service, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Big Q, DC, representing the Pelican Nation. Shout out to you guys for keeping it real and showing up, man, and showing out as always, man. And we'll see the Pelicans again, man, on Thursday against this same team tonight. Can they pull it together? Can they, galvanize? Can they put together some respect for themselves and not let this team beat them twice in a building within a couple of days? Can they do that? Or will Borrego come out and thank his players again as they lose their 5th straight game? So it is what it is. We'll holler at you on the next one. Much love, peace, and go Pels.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell him that. Birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, bunch of train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the whodatdaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the whodatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation. Stay in the NO, you stay in the know.
Hey, Ryan.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the